What's going on, everybody? I am the Kilted Cajun. Welcome back to another video, and I'd like to do a little review. I just got finished watching the new release of Trigun Stampede. Now, when it comes to animes, one of the first ones I was always introduced to. Always introduced to? Moving on. One of the first ones I was introduced to was Trigun, Vash the Stampede, the humanoid typhoon, and I absolutely loved it among others. But it came on Cartoon Network with their late night show that I can't remember the name of it. Moving on. Trigun Stampede. I found out they were remaking it, they're redoing it. I had hopes for it. I found out the first episode is out. I decided to watch it, and I want to talk about it because, well, it was enjoyable, entertaining. It's a good setup for the first episode. I'm going to talk about spoilers shortly. The look, the CG style of it, I'm not quite sure yet. It's all right. I like the classic. I've always liked the classic look of Vash, the hand-drawn art style. I'm always a fan. I do not like the massive lenses on his glasses. His hair is going to take me some getting used to. A few things. The look, it looks like Vash. It looks like the Badlands, No Man's Land, all that other stuff. So far, so good. It actually has the look and feel of the original Trigun. Vash acts like Vash. He is a bumbling idiot with luck and skill. Not really sure. It doesn't go into that. It doesn't reveal that in the first episode. There are a few things that are revealed right out of the gate that I'm not too sure about. Some things were left to be a mystery in the original anime that are pretty much shown off right out the gate. As far as the characters go, as far as the different players in the show go, obviously, if you're a viewer of it, you know who Vash is, you know what's going on. But it was always a mystery, at least I felt. It was always a mystery for Meryl and Millie in the anime, or whether or not he was actually the humanoid typhoon. But them being reporters, they wanted to get the scoop on it, and they went looking for him, and they found him. So, before I get into spoilers, honestly, go watch it. I would recommend it. It was thoroughly enjoyable. It didn't. I do not believe, outside of the look. The look is going to be something for you to get used to. Outside of the look, I do not believe they did a disservice to the original anime. Like I said, everything was pretty much all part and parcel, in comparison from the look and the feel and the behavior of Vash himself. And of course, Meryl's attitude, that gung ho attitude to get the scoop, get the story, got to get it. And she has, lofty aspirations. That was there as well. So I'll give them that. So I'm going to go ahead and get into spoilers. This is a review video. So going once, going twice, go watch it. Come back and check me out. Who knows? I may be wrong. We're going to get into spoilers right now. So the show opens up. Episode 1 is called No Man's Land. It opens up in space on the plant ship with all the other people in hibernation. Vash is walking through the ship, and all of a sudden the explosions, the sirens start going off with the explosions, and running down the corridor looking for Rem and looking for knives. Knives. They are found. They get on the escape shuttle. Rem sacrifices herself so that they may live. The ship starts blowing up. They escape. Title screen shows up. Cut to the world below. Many years in the future, of course, we're introduced to Meryl and Roberto. Meryl Strife. So far, I don't see Millie. Maybe her partner Roberto is taking the place of Millie in all this, so remains to be seen. Roberto is a more senior reporter, and he likes to drink. Meryl chastises him for it constantly. But there's some dialogue going back and forth, a little backstory. You get a little information on Meryl and what she's like, and all of a sudden their vehicle breaks down because Meryl forgot to charge the battery. So they have to take a walk throughout the desert, and it's at that point where they find Vash hanging upside down from some structure or whatever. Like, He's been assaulted and captured, and the birds are picking on him. And of course, Meryl goes and checks it out and saves him and cuts him down and all this other stuff. And it's at that point where Roberto looks at. Was it at that point that they recognize him? I don't think so. But as they're talking and everything, military police show up on dodos or chocobos or whatever you want to call them, the generic two-legged bird mount that they use, and they show Meryl and Roberto the wanted poster, the $6 million double dollar wanted poster, and Meryl immediately recognizes Vash as the guy that she just cut down, just saved his life. Instead of turning him in, she says, "Oh, he went that way," and sends him off, sends the military police off into the distance. So right then and there, she knows who Vash is. It's 100% revealed. There's no questions. The wanted poster is the guy she just saved. Her rationale, Vash starts thanking her for saving him, and Meryl decides to wrap him up, attempt to hog tie him, in order to get the scoop, because she's a reporter. She wants to get that scoop. Vash mentions food, go eat at the bar. They go through the desert and they journey to Genora Rock, where the bar is that Vash was talking about. As soon as Meryl enters the bar, everyone looks at her like, "Little child, you don't belong in here." But then Vash walks in and everyone knows who he is. He's got a good reputation. So there's some dialogue going back and forth. They find out that the water plant is broken. They go up and try to fix it because Vash had fixed it before. They come to find out that the water plant is dying and something worse could happen. Well, that's when the military police show up and show off the bounty on Vash's head. Now, the bartender looks surprised. And this is kind of one of the problems I do have so far. It might be a little nitpick, but the fact that she acts surprised that Vash has a $6 million double dollar bounty on his head. She looks surprised, like this is some sort of shock to the system. Like, how do the people of this town not know? They have wanted posters everywhere. There's wanted posters in the bar, all over the place, and they don't know. Now, they could question it, obviously, because Vash has helped out the town. They've, survived with fixing the water plant and everything. I can understand them questioning the bounty, but they would have to know. Everyone knows. Everyone's looking for him. Some reporter from the main town knows about Vash the Stampede. But that's just something, maybe a nitpick. Who knows? But Roberto, being the drunk actor that he is, decides to taunt the military police officer into dueling Vash the Stampede, and that's how the episode keeps on going. Talks Vash into dueling because I think Roberto has an idea that Vash is more than what he seems. They hint at that. I like that. But during the duel, Vash and the officer talk back and forth. "We don't need to do this." The officer says, "You're right, we don't need to do this." Throws his gun up in the air and pulls out this gigantic rocket launcher that shoots a missile of cluster bombs into the air to blow up the town for some reason. Why? Like, there's no clear indication. If he wants the bounty, he wants the reward for turning in Vash, why is he trying to kill everyone? That has a tendency to look bad on you. But for whatever reason, it's almost like that part of the scene happened to show off the personality of Vash the Stampede, his abilities, where you're not sure if it's luck or skill that comes into play. It's like what's hiding behind that cloak, that trench coat. But essentially, that's what happens. Shoots the rocket into the sky. It blows up into a bunch of cluster missiles that fall down. Vash goes to shoot it, and he's out of bullets. And of course, at this point, it shows off Vash's obvious childish, klutzy, ditzy, goofball mannerisms from the original anime of screaming, "I need a bullet, I need a bullet." So he gets a bullet. The officer tries to stop him from shooting the cluster bombs, but Vash dispatches him with ease, with absolute ease. The officer tries to shoot him, and Vash dodges out of the way just like he would in the original anime. Throws him to the ground, knocks him out, grabs the bullet, grabs a rock, throws it into the air, shoots the rock, and the rock shatters into all these pieces that hit enough of the missiles to blow them all up. Saves the town. At the end of the episode, Vash is the hero. Roberto asks him what he's afraid of. Because he wasn't worried, he mentioned the red flower. How he knew that the water plant was dying. The water plant is controlled by apparently 2 flowers. One of them appeared to be dying. It would turn red. Vash knows something about this. It has him unnerved, so to speak. And Roberto noticed this. But he also noticed that the military police, he wasn't bothered by them. No concern whatsoever. And Roberto asks him about this. He makes a comment about this. And he asks Vash what he's afraid of. And Vash mentions his brother. Millions Knives, I believe is what he called him. Called him Knives. Asked if they had heard about him. And while Vash and Roberto are talking, it cuts to another scene of a cloaked figure with a rather odd-looking robe playing the piano, and birds flying to this compound or city or massive building or something. And there's some dialogue back and forth and saying, bring him back to be taken care of. We'll finish him off. And then the episode ends. Excuse me. And yeah, that's how the episode ends. So much. There was a massive number, quite a few reveals, very important reveals in the very first episode. I don't know how many episodes there are, or if they're all released. I'll be reviewing them. I'm enjoying it so far. I don't believe the original anime went that fast right out the gate, right out the first episode. They were questioning. The storyline was slow and not slow, but it was a different pace. Didn't reveal everything. I think Vash had flashbacks and memories and whatnot. But all in all, I do have to say I enjoyed the episode. Look forward to the next one. It was one of my favorite animes, when I got introduced. Between Trigun and Full Metal Alchemist and wow, Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop was my favorite. That live action atrocity that shouldn't have been done. But so far so good. I enjoyed the episode. Let me know what you think. Did you watch it? Did you like it? Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like the look? Do you like the new computer generated look of Vash with his hair down? Again, I don't like the glasses. That's my #1 complaint. But hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for sticking around this long. Leave a like, leave a dislike, leave a comment. I'll see you on the next one.